Well lads, what we're going to try and do here now is create a boundary using the 4600 display on a 6130R, and the task we're at here at the moment, we're just trying to do a bit of ploughing here just to see how she's going. So we go into main menu on the bottom right hand corner, we skip by machine settings and we go down to applications here. When we're in applications now, we go to fields and boundaries. When we go into fields and boundaries now, we want to have a client, farm and field. So we'll create new, we'll edit client, new client on the bottom left hand corner here, and we'll call it TFM DE, sorry now, DEMO. We'll save that. So we're saying edit the farm, we'll put in a new farm on the bottom left hand corner again, and we'll just say DEMO, demo again. We'll save that. Now it's asking us for a field, so we stick in the field, and under field then we'll put in new field on the bottom left, so we go new field and we'll call it field 1. We'll click OK to that and we'll save all the information. Now we'll that's it, saved. If you want to edit that, you hit the little spanner sign or the little pencil sign and change that. So that's all saved. So we'll get into it and we'll click OK. Now we're in TFM. You see on current location we have it down as client, farm and field. And what we'll do now is we'll create a boundary as we're driving around here, and we'll say create boundary, and we'll say we'll create a driven boundary because we don't have one previously done from a coverage map, so we'll click OK to that. Now we're saying that the machine is off to our left hand side, so we leave that alone. The machine we're currently working with here is 2.2 meters wide. It's a 6 for a 14-inch plough, and we'll just start recording. So now we'll record away, we'll cruise around the headland here, and we'll hopefully be able to draw a boundary all around the field. Once we have a boundary drawn, then we can drive a boundary track if we want to, and there's several options we can do once we have it drawn, but until you draw it there's very little you can do with the boundaries. So the main thing is put in the information on your client, farm and field, and then it makes it very easy to go back into that field at any given stage. As you can see now, it's creating a pink line there which is going around. It's drawing a triangulation, drawing the field. So in the background we can leave, you can pause that line if you want, but what we can do is we can go out and leave it recording away. We can look at some of the other setup on the machine. So the tractor we're currently driving, 6130R, that's a 4.5 litre twin turbo engine, final tier 4 engine. So it's performing very well under the task. It's fairly heavy land we're in here at the moment. The machine monitor will tell us how we're going here, so it's saying that we're using 70% of the engine power. We're doing 7 kilometers an hour. We've 3 to 8% wheel slip, and the difference in the speed, the wheel speed thinks it's doing 7.2, but the GPS is saying we're only doing 6.9, so there is a little bit of wheel slip there. So we can go faster. Just say we tip her up along there, we'll go right to the full lot of the power, to everything. So we're up at engine load 107, 100% there now. We're doing 9 kilometers an hour. Our wheel slip is still staying okay, but ploughing is after dramatically, we're pegging skim a little bit higher than we should, so we have to slow back down again to 7, and the engine load comes back down accordingly. Same on fuel and pressure. We're covering here at the moment, we're doing 11 litres to the hectare, 10 to 11, 10 there when we're doing the 7k. When we shove her up here, we'll shove her on up here now to say back up to full load again, up to 9.5 kilometers. We're going to 26 litres an hour, and we're going up to 14 litres a hectare, so the fuel is rising accordingly. So tractor's sweet spot seems to be around 7k there. We're not murdering the tractor then, everything just, and the plough is at its ease, everything is just running nice and snug. The temperature gauge on the tractor, engine coolant temperature 98, transmission temperature 70, that's all normal enough. 98 degrees on a final tier 4 engine is very normal, so I wouldn't be afraid of anything like that. On the transmission temperature, transmission oil and hydraulic oil, the temperatures, the two of them are cooled on the same oil as in the back end, which is cooling on the same cooling, so the temperature should be the same on the hydraulics and the transmission. If one was abnormally higher than the other, you would be getting worried maybe if one was 100, because you'd say there was something causing it to heat up. The electrical is 14 volts there on the battery, and the engine hours, there's 36 hours in this demonstrator tractor. So we'll go back into, we can go down then and we can see when we're in that, we can cruise down here to the work monitor and we can see what our totals are like. So it's going to show us here now that our instant fuel per area, so it's saying 12.8 litres a hectare is the average of what we've been doing. So that's divided out, any is there, divided by 2.47, we're under, in or around a gallon an acre of what we're ploughing at. We have there on the instant fuel per hour, just when we're ticking along out of the cut there, we're at 9 litres an hour, and the average fuel consumption is 13.6 ploughing here on litres per hour. We're working speed, average speed of 5.9 between the ins and the outs. We've done 1.5 hours here, and the hectares we've covered 1.64 hectares. Time worked 1.1 hours of working time. So it gives you an awful lot of information in here. If you do want to delete any of that information, you can delete it there and just put it all back to the start. Every time you go into a field, you should probably be changing and checking all these sort of things. You can have counters A and B, so you can have a counter for the whole week and you have a counter for the day. And in the JD link in your telematics, you can look it all back up anyway. You can it'll give you all this information back afterwards if you want to have a look, back what you did 3 weeks ago. JD Link will be able to give you that sort of information. That's the telematics mode. There's a little receiver up, a little dome up in the front over here, and it's giving you a little SIM card, and it's sending the information back to the garage. And if there's any problems on the tractor, we're able to remotely log into the tractor, we're able to remotely log into this display and see what's going on. But in the meantime, we'll cruise down along. So we're back in the cut here again now, and you can see the engine is working away grand. She's cruising along there, and we'll get back up. Fuel usage, she's going through, we've used 21 litres of fuel since we started. In the an hour and a half, is it? Let's see, 1.5 hours have elapsed, so 21 litres of fuel has been used. We can cruise back in along here. That's in the work monitor, work setup. Then you can change, it knows the implement we have on it, so we've loaded this up in the equipment manager. So equipment manager is a very important thing when you're doing any of this, because the information is only as accurate as the information you put into the equipment manager. So at the moment we're working on a plough, and the plough it knows that this is the plough. It has no rake controller because it was built in about 1975, this old plough that I have on the back of it at the minute. And I'd say rake controllers were nothing anyone ever thought about at that stage. So if you had a fertilizer spreader or a sprayer, you'd have a rake controller, and it would be working in the background. It'd want to know as you go across the field to be able to vary the rate and all, so you tell it a rake controller. But at the moment we've no rake controller, it's not a cart. We stick in that we're doing a tillage operation. We put in the width of the machine, 2.2 metres. The working point is how far back the machine is from you. That's 4 metres to the working point. The work recording is on a 3-point. Every time we drop the lift, she starts recording. And the connection type, we're on the 3-point hitch, and it's on a pivot, so it's a metre back from me. So you have to put in all this information to get it to save. But then once you're in there, that's it, the information is saved. So we have that information saved, and the machine will be working away grand in the background there. Then it'll know the way it's in. If you change implements, then just go into your equipment manager, have all your implements saved up in the equipment manager here, and just once you enter it, then it'll know the width and everything. So when you go back into your GPS page, then it'll all work out. So we'll go back into the fields and boundaries here now, and as you see, it's after creating a field since we started. So the field has been recorded, and that's just saved that. Now the boundary is saved and activated for use. So now we have the boundary saved. We cruise into fields and boundaries here just to see if we go in again, and it's shown that we have 4.3 hectares is what we have in that loop around there. Now say we want to use that boundary in the auto track page. We go into the auto track here, and it'll ask us to set track, and we can click new track on the bottom left, and we can do a boundary fill now. So usually you're using straight track, curved track, circle track with boundary track. So we do a boundary fill. Now it's saying here you want to use the field that we just drew, and we say yes. So it's generating a track for that. Now we save that, and we can drive. Now you see here all the lines are being created in front of me, so it knows exactly, it's able to see the line we're on. So it's saying that there's a sharp curve ahead, but it won't steer a real sharp curve like that. But you can see here it's trying to draw us in, but with the plough you couldn't really follow that. But if you were pulling a trailed equipment or anything, you could work with the boundary track. So this is the we're cruising in onto this here now, and she's going to pick up the line of where we drove. And if you did want to use it there now, you could just hit the auto steer button, turn the steering on here, and now it will drive the previous track. So all nice and simple, everything works lovely, and you're driving, she'll drive around and around and around that headland all the time there now, once you have the information correct in it. If you want to shift to the right, you can shift, and you can shift the track a little bit there, or shift to the left, shift to left, so you can move the track along, manipulate the line is what to say. So backhand steering on again, so you can click, see, move the line, left, shift track, and then bang, on. So it's very simple to use the boundary tracks, but the main thing to use a boundary track is to be sure and have your boundary connected up first, your boundary drawn first. That's the main thing. So just a simple tutorial. If you need any more information, we'll be going into more detail on the satellite, and sure, we'll hope to upload plenty more videos onto the website and see how you go. Thank you.